Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. We're diving into Citigroup today, ticker symbol CITI. They've been making some serious moves, and their stock price is up almost 37% over the past year. So we're going to break down what's driving that growth. We're looking at earnings reports, analyst opinions, and even some technical indicators. You're going to feel like a Wall Street insider by the time we're done.
What's really interesting is Citigroup didn't just meet their fourth quarter earnings expectations for 2024, they crushed them. Net income of $2.86 billion. Compare that to the $1.84 billion loss in the same quarter the previous year.
It's a huge turnaround. From a loss to such a strong profit. What happened?
It's a few things. The economic recovery definitely helped, but Citigroup's also made some smart strategic moves. Like their investment banking division saw a 35% increase in revenue, and market revenues were up a whopping 36%. So they're not just riding the recovery wave, they're taking advantage of new opportunities too.
So they're exceeding expectations. That's got to make investors happy.
Oh yeah. This kind of performance tells investors that Citigroup is back and ready to win. It shows they're agile, adaptable, and they really understand the market.
Speaking of making investors happy, let's talk about that $20 billion stock repurchase plan. That's a big statement.
Definitely. It shows that management believes in the company's future. When a company buys back its stock, it usually means they think their shares are undervalued, they see potential for growth.
They're putting their money where their mouth is. It's not just about boosting share value. It's about showing confidence in their long-term strategy. Now, there's one thing that might seem a little confusing. Citigroup lowered their profitability target for 2026. Their return on tangible common equity, or ROTCE, went from 11 to 12% down to 10 to 11%. What's that all about?
That's a good question at first glance. Yeah, it might seem like a red flag. But look closer, and it makes sense. Citigroup is projecting higher revenues for 2025 than analysts expected, somewhere between $83.5 and $84.5 billion. So they're likely making strategic investments now to ensure sustained growth in the future, even if it means a slight adjustment to their profitability targets in the short term.
So they're prioritizing long-term growth over hitting a specific target in a single year.
Exactly. Playing the long game, investing in things like regulatory compliance and operational improvements, those things might impact profitability in the short term, but they're essential for building a solid foundation for future success.
And how's the market reacting to this strategy? Are investors buying in?
Well, several analysts have actually upgraded their price targets for Citigroup. Morgan Stanley set a target of $104, and Wells Fargo raised theirs to $110.
So the market seems to understand and support Citigroup's long-term vision. This is a pretty compelling story for potential investors.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting, Citigroup's stock is actually outperforming the S&P 500. That's a strong indicator of positive market sentiment. And these favorable analyst ratings just reinforce that Citigroup is a stock to watch.
We've got impressive earnings, a bold stock buyback plan, and analysts are loving it. But now, let's talk about what the charts are telling us. What's the technical analysis saying?
Okay. So, let's take a look. Well, as of January 23rd, Citigroup is trading at $81.69. Its 52-week range has been between $52.24 and $82.27, so it's near the top of its range. That suggests some strong upward momentum.
And how about those moving averages? What are they telling us?
They're all pointing upwards. That's a classic bullish signal. The 5-day average is at $74.91, the 50-day average sits at $70.43, and the 200-day average is at $64.09. That consistent upward trend across different time frames is a good sign.
But you mentioned the RSI being high. Doesn't that contradict all this positive momentum?
You're right. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is currently at 73.57. Anything above 70 is generally considered overbought territory.
So should investors be worried? Is this rally about to end?
Not necessarily. Remember, even in a strong bull market, stocks don't just go straight up forever. An overbought RSI doesn't mean a crash is coming, but it does suggest that a short-term price correction could happen. It's like a breather, a chance for the stock to consolidate before continuing its upward climb.
So maybe a chance for those who missed the initial surge to buy in?
Exactly. But don't forget the big picture. The momentum for Citigroup is strong. For example, the MACD, or moving average divergence, is currently at 1.64. That's another bullish indicator.
What about the stochastic oscillator?
That's sitting at 93.64. similar to the RSI that puts it in overbought territory. The ATR, or average true range, is also pretty high at 1.87. This means we're seeing a strong upward trend, but there's also potential for some price swings along the way.
So I've got mixed signals, positive trends, but some indicators are saying be careful.
You got it. It's all about weighing the potential rewards against the risks. Citigroup looks like a good investment opportunity with its strong performance and positive market sentiment. But investors need to be aware of the possibility of a short-term correction, especially with those overbought indicators.
So it's a calculated risk with the potential for a big reward.
Exactly. There's no crystal ball in investing. But making informed decisions, doing your research, and having a well-defined risk tolerance are key.
It's a good reminder for all of us. Let's recap what we've learned about Citigroup. They beat earnings expectations, announced a big stock repurchase program, and generally seem to be on the right track. But we also need to consider the adjusted profitability target and those technical indicators suggesting a possible price correction. It's a complex situation with both exciting prospects and risks.
You've got it. It's important not to make investment decisions based on just one piece of information or a headline. Always look at the whole picture. Understand both the potential upsides and downsides.
That's what we try to do here at Investing Talk Podcast. We want our listeners to have the knowledge and insights they need to make smart financial decisions. Now, the big question is, will Citigroup keep this momentum going?
That's the million-dollar question. Or maybe the $81.69 question.
Right. Will they be able to handle market fluctuations, manage internal restructuring, and keep delivering value to shareholders?
That's what makes investing so interesting. There are no guarantees. There are definitely opportunities for growth, especially in areas like investment banking where they've done well. But there's always the chance of economic problem and unexpected challenges.
So it's a balancing act, weighing the potential rewards against the risks.
Exactly.
Well, we hope you found this look at Citigroup helpful. It's been fascinating to explore their recent performance, their strategic decisions, and what the future might hold for them.
Remember, this is just a starting point. We encourage you to do your own research, explore different viewpoints, and make investment decisions that align with your own goals and risk tolerance.
And tell us what you think about Citigroup. Are you optimistic about their future? What parts of their strategy stand out to you? Let us know in the comments.
And if you liked this episode on Citigroup, don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast. We cover all sorts of companies, investing topics, always trying to give you valuable information and different perspectives.
And if you found this episode helpful, share it with your friends, family, or anyone interested in learning about investing.
Thanks for joining us today on Investing Talk Podcast. Until next time, happy investing.
We always say knowledge is power. And hopefully today's discussion has given you a better understanding of Citigroup, where they are now, and where they might be headed.
Yeah, definitely. This is just the beginning, though. Keep researching, look at different opinions, and make investment decisions that work for you, based on your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What do you think about Citigroup? Are you bullish on them? What parts of their strategy do you like? Tell us in the comments below.
And hey, if you like this episode on Citigroup, make sure you subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast. We cover a ton of different companies and investing topics. We're always looking to give you good info and different ways to think about things.
And if you thought this episode was useful, share it with your friends and family, anyone who might want to learn more about investing.
That's it for us today on Investing Talk Podcast. Thanks for being here. Happy investing.